Salem Witch Crisis. William Phips arrives from New England as the new royal governor for Massachusetts colony. He's confronted with a witchcraft crisis in Salem. Within 4 days, he learns that Dr. Roger Toothaker was accused of bewitching a child of his half-brother Philip White. New England faced a new fear, the supernatural. Beginning in early 1692 and culminating in 1693, Salem Town, Salem Village, Ipswich, and Andover all tried women and men as witches. Paranoia swept through the region, and 14 women and 6 men were executed. 5 other individuals ended up dying in prison. In 1888, Reverend Samuel Parris moved to Salem Village with his family, including daughter Betty, niece Abigail Williams, and his Indian slave Tituba. In the winter of 1692, Betty exhibited strange behavior. She dashed about, dove under the furniture, contorted in pain, and complained of a fever. Betty's friends Ann Putnam, Mercy Lewis, and Mary Walcott came down with the same symptoms. The afflicted girls were Betty Parris, Ann Putnam, Mercy Lewis, Mary Walcott, Elizabeth Hubbard, Susanna Sheldon, and Mary Warren. Those accused of witchcraft were Tituba, Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, Rebecca Nurse, Dr. Roger Toothaker, and Giles Corey. Political figures during this time period were William Phips, Cotton Mather, Judge William Stoughton, and Judge Nathaniel Staughtonstall. It all began in January of 1692, when Abigail Williams and Betty Parris began acting strangely. By February, Betty Parris, Ann Putnam, and Mercy Lewis accused Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne of bewitching them. Later in February, Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne were all arrested for witchcraft. In March, they were put on trial and they were all convicted. By April, Giles Corey had been accused and examined. By May, William Phips created the Court of Oyer and Terminer, allowing spectral evidence. By July, Rebecca Nurse had been on trial. Finally, in August, Giles Corey received his trial. And in September, Martha Corey, Mary Easty, Alice Parker, Ann Pudeator, Mary Bradbury, Margaret Scott, William Ridd, Samuel Wardwell, Mary Parker, Abigail Faulkner, Rebecca Earns, Mary Lacey, Ann Foster, and Abigail Hobbs are tried, found guilty, and sentenced to hang. Meanwhile, Giles Corey is indicted, refuses to confess, and dies after 2 days of pressing. Governor Phips forbade the court the use of spectral evidence and dissolves the Court of Oyer and Terminer. In November, a superior court was created to try the accused witches, and Judge William Stoughton orders execution of some of the witches. However, Governor Phips prevented the order from being carried out. Judge Stoughton ends up quitting the court. 49 of the 52 people arrested for witchcraft were released, and William Phips pardoned the 3 remaining accused prisoners by May of 1693. Over the years, over 200 people were accused of witchcraft, 19 were hung, 1 was pressed to death, and 5 died in prison. Possible causes to the Salem witch trials were rivalry between the Porter and the Putnam families. Sickness and crazy behavior could have been caused by rye-infected ergot, and Cotton Mather writing a popular book on witchcraft.